So the Brooklyn Nets have been a constant talking point for the NBA world, and for obvious reasons too. Fans were not only preparing themselves to witness and view the destruction that the KD and Kyrie duo is about to do on the court once they're both are healthy. 2 out of the 3 most unguardable one-on-one players in the entire league playing at the same time for the same team. Then they go ahead and add another one of the most unguardable players in the league. That's 1, 2, and 3 of the best ISO scorers that we have in the NBA today. So adding James Harden was already overwhelming enough for NBA fans. Then bam, bam, bam. In the span of 2 weeks, they go ahead and add Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge, some of the most dominant big men in the early 2010s. Washed, but in fact, indeed still usable in the NBA today. Now this is no secret, everybody knows this, even my old lady neighbor across the street knows this too. They reek at defense and have been searching and damn near basically asking for prayers from God himself for an answer defensively. They traded for Bruce Brown, who was an actual great pickup, but as we all know, that's just not enough. But what if I was to tell you that they had the answer to all their problems on their roster this entire time? Before the Bruce Brown trade, before the James Harden trade, before KD and Kyrie even signed there. They've had something that they've been looking for the entire season. Hey, hold up, you thought I forgot? No, I'm not starting no video until you go ahead and leave a like and comment something. At least leave a like, bro. You ain't gotta comment. I understand comment is a lot of words sometimes, but bro, run me my like. I'm serious. So this is no surprise to everyone. Everyone knows that some of my favorite things to do and talk about on this channel is the NBA draft. I don't know why, but the NBA draft just gets me hyped because I love seeing players like come up out of nowhere, do bad, do really good. Just seeing growth in general is really fun to witness. And the 2019 draft is the draft that kind of like helped blow up my channel in the first place. There's so much talent in that draft that to this day, new talent is still emerging and blossoming in the league. And there's a specific talent out of that 2019 draft class that was not seen and not taken in the first round, but was an early second round pick. And that second round pick was selected at number 31, and he came out of UGA. If you didn't know already, the player that I'm referring to, his name is Nicolas Claxton. Nic Claxton is a 6'11", 7'2" or 3 wingspan big man. Now back in his college days, he wasn't really eyed or even hyped up that much because he averaged only about like 13 points per game. Nobody really thought much of him. Even though back in those days, this man showed a lot of scary potential, unicorn type of potential, might I say, he still wasn't thought of highly. I say unicorn potential because, bro, it's not every day that you see a 6'11" dude doing things like this on a college basketball team. Like, you don't see that often. And to see Claxton do this on the regular back in the UGA days makes you wonder, what could he do on the Brooklyn Nets? Do they have something undiscovered? Do they have something untapped? Do they have something that they didn't fully unlock yet? And the answer to that question is yes, they indeed do. Now trust me, I'm not over here calling Nic Claxton like the next Anthony Davis or anything crazy like that, but he does have certain abilities that'll make Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant's life a lot more easier than it already is. Mobility and handle on the ball is much more advanced than the average center in the NBA today. He's not over here doing anything crazy, anything fancy, no hesitations or anything like that. It's literally strictly bring the ball up, either pass it out and run straight to the rim or pull up for the occasional mid-range shot. Like, his game is really simple and he really don't be trying to do too much at all. Now, do I think the Brooklyn Nets would ever like experiment with Claxton to this degree? Hell no, not a chance in hell. Kyrie, KD, and Harden will never let that slip and pass by. They look at him like, bro, you're 7 foot and I'm James Harden. What are you doing?
That's laughable. You just made me LOL.
You're 7 foot and I'm Kyrie Irving. KD is on your team. Why do you have the ball in your hand so much? You know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna work. He's a second-year player. I don't think he'll be able to showcase or ever reach his full potential. But that's 110% okay because he will be used in other ways. And the number one way he can showcase his talent on the Brooklyn Nets is by playing that good old defense. Now that the Nets lost Jared Allen and believed in DeAndre Jordan so much since like last year, which was super weird for them to do. Anyways, now they're stuck with DeAndre Jordan as their starting center, and DeAndre is just super washed and is the worst type of big to have starting in the NBA today, and that is just straight up fact. lacks. Not an offensive threat other than lobs, and he plays little to no defense today. And everybody sees that now. His minutes are slowly starting to deduct game by game, and he's only been playing like 10 minutes per game, and honestly it should either be that or even less if you ask me. And I'm sure his best buddies Katie and Kyrie ain't even mad at that, because some of the defensive lapses that they have, they just look at him like, my god, what did I just get myself into? Now I believe Claxton would have eased his way into eventually probably the starting lineup a lot quicker and sooner if the Nets didn't do these two things. First, they signed Blake Griffin. Now, honestly, I feel like the on-court fit of Claxton and Griffin is actually pretty nice, and they can feed off of each other damn near perfectly. But adding LaMarcus Aldridge to their big man mix just makes things a little wonky, and now I'm kind of fearful for Nic Claxton's career and just how much the Nets will try to force him into the mix, especially since LaMarcus Aldridge really doesn't fit or give them what they want or need at all. He's just there for big name purposes and 8 to 10 points per night, probably best case scenario. But out of all their big men that they have right now as we speak, Nic Claxton is by far the best option for him, and over the last 10 to 15 games or 11 games that he's played, he's been putting up great numbers with the time that he's been giving, and eventually I expect this man, or at least I hope this man, ends up being a starter for the rest of the season and going into the playoffs, because he needs all the experience that he can get ASAP. Now, Claxton was injured for the first part of the season and then got a whole bunch of DMPs, but he's back now and he's been healthy and has been getting a solid amount of playing time. But these last 11 to 12 games that he's played, he's been averaging 21 minutes per game and throwing up 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks per game in just under 21 minutes. And bro, if I'm not tripping, they literally just played last night, and he put up 12 points and 8 rebounds and made 6 out of his 7 shots, and all under, once again, 21 minutes of play. Claxton is exactly what the Brooklyn Nets need. A low maintenance young center who is willing to just be a sponge and inhale and take anything and everything that he can. Nicolas Claxton does a lot of unteachable things on the defensive end, and this is why I harp on the Brooklyn Nets starting him so much, because when it comes to him and his switchability on smaller players and his ability to also block shots, for the most part in the NBA, it's either just something that you know how to do or you don't know how to do. It's super hard and complicated to teach one how to go ahead and move your hips, position yourself to guard smaller players who are either gonna blow past by you or step back and take a 3 over you. Claxton approaches these situations really well and does an effective job 90% of the time. That's just something that you don't see often these days in the NBA, and this is why they need to start him ASAP. His opportunity and the amount of minutes that he's been getting, I have seen a sudden rise, and I have a feeling in my mind that he's gonna be named a starter, if not next week or the week after that, then hopefully sometime before the playoffs in general. My only worry and fear now was that since they signed LaMarcus Aldridge, how much is that going to affect not only Nic Claxton's game, but his minutes, his playing time out there? I hope it just eats into DeAndre Jordan. You just watched a 9, 10, maybe 11 minute Mojo 99 video describing to you the 22-year-old on the Brooklyn Nets roster that could possibly save the Brooklyn Nets. This is the end of the video though, man. I really do appreciate you watching right now, for watching this video and even taking your time out of your day to go ahead and click the thumbnail and leaving a like and all that great stuff. Outside of everything that I told you about, make sure you follow me on Instagram and all that good stuff. Talk to me, because I literally talk to everyone back. I hope that you go ahead and make your day great. Until then, I'll get right with you.
No way, remember back when I couldn't get a play, no home, I ain't have a place to stay, I got to work, made the surf, free the way, told my girl who'd ever thought.